it strikes me that the most important thing about talking about the old days and old-time Loveland is to continue the wonderful feeling that permeates our lovely city and our town. And by remembering the past and recalling it, I think we can remind our present day occupants and residents and political figures that this is the city that we'd like to have continue. And I hope that you're able to continue that.
Pollyann has just sold this home. It has only had 2 occupants up till now, and she's selling it to her lovely daughter Leslie, and that way it can stay in the family. Tell them a little bit about this home.
Oh, this home was built by my aunt in 1920 by the architect Robert Fuller. He built the Rialto, the Bill Reed Junior High, remodeled the El Centro building on 4th Street, which Barry owns.
Yeah, he was the architect, not the builder.
Yes, he was the remodeling architect for that building.
Right.
But what year was that?
Yes, and this house was built at the same time as the Rialto, so Robert Fuller liked to go back and forth. If you'll notice on the wall, on the fireplace, the tiles are the same that you will see on the top of the Rialto, although mine are originally done by Batchelder, who was a tile maker in Pasadena, and a very famous one. So Fuller liked to pull on his expertise. This house is a craftsman style bungalow. And it has much of the architect of the craftsman, but it has been softened a bit so that it's more of the bungalow style. And you'll find many of these houses in Pasadena.
Oh.
It's rather rare here in the Midwest to see this, or in the West to see this.
Quarter sawn oak floors.
Yes, all the way through.
Oak throughout. What are those little medallions at the top of the doors? What are those called?
Well, I think that's Art Deco.
Art Deco.
And in the Bill Reed Auditorium also you'll see wonderful Art Deco artistry. But it's interesting because in the main part of the house we have expensive oak floors, but in the upstairs and in the kitchen and in the back are all maple. And the reason for that is maple was cheaper. Now, today, it's just the reverse. And they say maple is so expensive and oak is the cheaper wood. So time changes.
Now tell them who you married originally.
Yes, I married Richard Kitchen. His father was principal and superintendent of the schools here in Loveland for many years.
BF Kitchen.
There is an elementary school here in Loveland, in southwest Loveland, named for him. And actually my 2 daughters, Leslie, who's buying this house, her children are 4th generation Coloradoans because Dick's mother came from Aspen, Colorado, where her father was manager of the silver mines and a prospector and an early resident of Colorado. So her history goes back deep into Colorado.
And let's see, your husband, late husband, Dick, went to Yale or Harvard?
Yale.
And that was very rare in those days.
In that period of time, there were 5 young men in Loveland who were given full scholarships to Yale. One was Caldwell, Billy.
That's the Pollyann family.
Yeah, the Pollyann family. Then another young man, and then Ben and Dick, both of the same family, were awarded. The Yale organization alumni in Denver was so strong that they provided those scholarships.
And Dick eventually came back. Did he go to law school in Yale?
He went to law school at DU.
At DU, and then he joined the famous Phipps firm,
yes.
didn't he?
Yes, he did, and then ultimately they owned the Broncos.
Right, he was general counsel for the Denver Broncos as an attorney in Denver through the Phipps connection.
Yes, but I'd moved on long before that.
You moved on before that.
So I have a different background, but I keep coming back to Loveland. I love my mountains and my home.
Could you expand? I mean, since B.F. Kitchen Elementary School is still here, could you expand a little bit more what happened to him and where he went to, or how you ended
Oh,
up?
well, he passed away a few years. Let's see, Leslie would know. It was 76, maybe.
Your
1970.
late husband.
No, who do you mean, Dick? or-
Mr. Kitchen.
No,
Which one?
B.F. Kitchen.
B.F. Kitchen.
Oh, actually, he was made the superintendent of Larimer County Schools.
Really?
And within 3 years, they consolidated. And so here we have Estes Park, Fort Collins, and Loveland consolidating into one unit,
Oh.
and they didn't need a superintendent any longer.
Interesting.
So he was out of a job and retired, I think.
And died in
Can't
Loveland.
see. What?
When did Pollyann, when did you move into this home when you got it from your aunt? What year was that?
1990. I came from Estes Park. I lived there for 20 years. And in 1990, I came here. She was in a nursing home at that time, and she died in 93. And so she wanted me to take care of her house.
And the Borlands had no children. So Maud was very close to her niece,
Yes.
which is Pollyann Baird. That's her
Good.
connection.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Thank you. Very proud of that.